This is weird. What is this? So we're going to do a wall of death. It's just a weird comp for it. So we're going to, like, it's like a 2-layered wall of death. So you see this. This is what we call a wall of death here. So what Falcons are trying to do is they're saying, okay, Proper has LOS of this area, okay? And we're gonna shade it too. All right, and Proper does have a little bit of LOS past this, but it's not far. Okay. So what Falcons are gonna do is they're gonna let ZETA push. ZETA are gonna push, and they're gonna get the cart pretty far. ZETA are gonna get the cart to here. Once they get the cart to here, all Hanbin's gonna do is sit on Ram here and stop cart. All they're gonna do is sit there and stop cart. And then basically the idea is Fielder's gonna pump heals into Hanbin, and then Chia's probably gonna be playing back here and pump heals into Hanbin. And they're just gonna keep doing this. And they're just gonna keep doing it. And anytime any of the ZETA players try and pass the wall, and we're gonna call this the wall. We'll actually make the wall a different color. We'll make the wall black. This is the wall. So once you cross the black line, you see it's right where the cart is going to stop too. Let's say a ZETA Division player tries to do that. We're going to say ZETA Division's pink. They try and cross the line and go out here. They can get killed by Proper. And they're under pressure by Proper. And they might get naded by Fielder. They walk here. They're going to be an LOS. So how you break a wall of death usually is you send someone back, like a flank, Tracer maybe, and you pressure this. And then that breaks this LOS for a moment. And once you break the LOS, then you can walk this free. So chat, I don't know if this makes any sense, but this is a wall of death. So congratulations, this is a more advanced macro concept. What is Stalker's job in this? Stalker's job is just to help Hanbin do the thing where they hold down the corner. Stalker needs to also like not die, because if Stalker gets picked off by Flora, it kind of fucks things up, right? So basically, all Stalker's going to do is try and help keep Hanbin alive as well and do damage. I think there's several different heroes that Stalker could be on. Some teams will run Tracer with this, and then the Tracer will mark the opposing Tracer or whatever. Like, I think Tracer here would even be better, to be honest, like than Echo, considering what this is. So it just kind of depends, but yeah, this is a wall of death, and this is a map-specific strategy. You can't do this everywhere. You can't do this everywhere. I saw a round like this in Owl where attackers completely ignored cart at the point for all 3 minutes. I was so confused why they're doing that. They constantly pressured high ground in the right areas. Yeah, it's all about key areas. So they're going to give up the first half of the map. You can do this on Junkertown first as well, but this is a basic explanation. Do you think Proper is also looking at the high ground that Bernard is looking to clear on Diva? Yeah, so once you cross the, once any of the ZETA players cross the black line, they can die to Proper. Proper can also see a little past the black line, but you kind of get the point. It's generally just a wall like that. So that also means that there's a rule in a wall of death comp. Everybody else can't cross the black line. You know why that is, chat? Because basically, if they cross the black line, Proper can no longer help you anymore. Same thing with Fielder, actually, too. So at that point, you're taking a 3v5 once you're on this side of the black line. So to take a 5v5, you have to be on this side for Falcons. So that's a mistake a lot of teams make, is when they play a wall of death, they'll like walk past and think they can do that, and then they lose. Have teams even tried doing long coast rotations? I think the problem is that you can, like, if everybody goes this way, it doesn't work out well. That would take like more explanation, but yeah. So it's basically hold the line no matter what, yeah, and prevent the cart from passing the line. But yeah, that's the idea here. You can send one person on this though, and that's where the Tracer comes in to pressure the wall and break the wall. You only need one person, just one person to break the wall. With Tracer on cart, it still wouldn't work very well. Because, like, here's the thing. They're going to see it. They're going to scout it immediately. The Widow's going to rotate out. And you can actually flip map if you really want to. You could flip Widow here and do this. Or you could just flip the whole way and then hold back here and hold your Widow here. You can do that, but that's not super good. But, like, it's hard to do this also, to rotate the whole way. Because your opponent will kind of punish you for that. And it's kind of tough to make it. It's like... it's hard to explain because I've seen it in scrims and I've seen it fall apart like every time. But it's hard to explain something I've seen but don't have a great explanation for. So I will admit that I don't have the best explanation for why it doesn't work. It's easy to punish. It feels easy to punish as the defending team. But yeah, this is a wall of death. So hopefully this was somewhat helpful, somewhat interesting. All right, let's get started. Keep that in mind for this round. You'll see they kind of play like this. We'll watch what Proper does. We'll see everything that's happening from Proper's point of view. And another way you can break the wall of death is that you can have a Widow to pressure the opposing Widow. So you mirror that. But I don't like that a ton, right? Because I don't think it's the most effective way to break it because you're relying on winning, right? You're putting a lot on Flora here. And you know what we also see? We actually saw Alfie go back to spawn and swap Tracer for the reasons we brought up before. This also means that Stalker, part of his job is to look at this angle. And Fielder is also a barrier, right? So Fielder and Stalker need to prevent Alfie from doing something here to break the wall. A 1v1 diff seems like a sketch way to break a hold, especially when Proper has the positional advantage. It's really hard. It's really hard. And ZETA can't make more space. Like, up against this, there's nothing you can do. You can't push the cart any further. You can't just cross the wall, you'll die. So, like, you need to break the wall somehow, and you can't just, like, I don't like relying on just Alfie to do this, and, like, you don't have a lot to help this front line, too. So it's even harder. Like, one of the ways you can break the wall is obviously just put a lot of pressure on Hanbin and force him away, and then push the cart a little bit forward, right? And then you kind of, like, somewhat put a hole in the wall. But you can't do that easily with Widow. So you're relying on punishing the opposing Widow and breaking the wall that way. But that's like the strongest link in the wall, right? Like dealing with Proper here, it kind of requires Proper to make a mistake or for Flora to have a great shot, which is risky. It's high risk. It's not the best way to approach it, in my opinion. Flora is going to wrap around the side, actually, a little bit. Look for that. You see Alfie is going to wrap around the side, so this is exactly how I kind of predicted this to go. But, whoopsies, I teleported forward a little bit. Sorry about that. Is full team running on Hanbin to force him out a viable way? Yes, you can brawl Hanbin out and win it that way. It just depends on how you approach it. I think it's hard, though, because like he's going to get a lot of healing, a lot of support. So, breaking a wall I think is a two-step pattern. I think the best way you can do it is to pressure Hanbin simultaneously while someone's on top of Proper. So Alfie gets shut down by Proper here. So you see, this is the first attempt to break the wall. Okay, so yeah, Fielder's in the way, right? Fielder's kind of annoying. Oh, look at that. Nice. I felt like Proper didn't have the best performance, but he probably did his job just being in the right position. Remember that Proper existing is making it really hard for any of ZETA Division to walk or make a move. It's really hard, specifically for Finn and Violet. Finn and Violet, their problem is that crossing this wall feels like hell, because the moment you do, you think you're going to die. Especially for Finn, too, because Finn has, like, no shield, too. So it's, like, really difficult for them. It's really scary. And you'll see them kind of wrap around the side a little bit too there. Finn gets that kill. Kind of up in the high ground. Gonna get naded here. Hanbin inside. Sleeper Gnar. Gonna be fine though. Proper's still alive. There's Flora. You see now they're like, okay, we just need to break the wall. We're gonna send someone to go after Proper. Bypass Seana. Go for a hack on Shio is an interesting choice actually. Surprised you'd do that. Okay. That's fine. Gonna wrap around the top. No, this is nice. This was a good way to approach it here. I like the approach where you go this. The hallway coast is kind of bad, but this was good in this situation because they were able to push this out. They got rid of this. So you can kind of take it one step at a time. If you try and do this while Hanbin's here, you'll get pinched, right? But if Hanbin isn't here and you get Hanbin back, then you can do this now. That's why you can do this now. Because you think about it, like it's pretty easy for Falcons to do this if they have an angle here, if Hanbin's here. So that's why you can't immediately just rotate here if you're ZETA. But this is good. This is good. If ZETA loses this fight, is it still a success because they got part past choke? It will help. But they do want to win this fight. They want to kind of go off of this. Fielder's going to die. Nice. Violet needs to live. Stalker have HP, but I will say, yeah, it's definitely a success for being able to push cart. Proper gets to kill him, but Violet, that's pretty good. As you see, now it's going to be harder. Proper doesn't have that same wall anymore. Now it's tough because all of a sudden, and this is why Wall of Death doesn't work everywhere, the wall has become this area, which is a little awkward, right? It's a little awkward. And it makes it hard to push past this if you're Hanbin, right? Widow becomes a bit of a, what's the word for it? She becomes a pain to keep alive and, like, deal with, right? Like, you can obviously wall like this, but you want to be able to fight over cart here so that, like, she's a liability now. Proper has become a liability now that the cart has reached this point. That's the word for it. Proper is a liability. Damn. Poor guy. Finn. Gonna keep the pressure up here. Hanbin's gonna use the Annihilation. It's really good Annihilation, actually. Like, extremely good. I'm not sure how I feel about the Orbital, but I see the idea. Just keep the pressure up, especially against a Widow comp like this. And Bernard's gonna be on top of this backline. Shio's low. Okay. There's the Orbital. I think they were trying to prevent them from getting the Orbital Annihilation that easily. Nice. Okay. Still alive here, still holding on to this fight. Bernard really wanted to hold on to that. Proper Fielder going to be able to return. Bernard might get staggered here. This could be really bad for Zeta if Bernard dies. Oh, Bernard slipped off the edge there. Bernard able to get the Mega. Nice. Okay. Stalker over to Tracer too, and that's kind of what I expected, right? And like I said, I think Tracer would work better here, because you know what Stalker needs to do now? You need to hunt Flora. You need to hunt Alfie. You just mark the opposing DPS, and we'll get an idea of that. But yeah, you said Stalker did a lot here. I'm not surprised. Not surprised. Okay. Oh, what a pulse. What a pulse. It's really nice. Now I just hold down this corner, wrap around the side. For a bit of pressure that way. Nice. Good aim keep.